Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and welcome to another inbox review video. We have here today, we have a lovely Avro Lancaster B.II bomber. It is in 1/72 scale and it is by Airfix. Really nice, iconic World War II bomber. If we just look at the box art, looking really nice. Going around, I mean, you can see this the right way. You know, you do get two markings with this, very sort of similar markings. You do get some cartograph decals as well with it, but let's just open this up and let's take a good look inside. The box is a little bit tight. Packaging, I've already sort of opened this up. It came in one of these big plastic bags with the Canopy side of things separately packaged, so not the best, but at least they separately packaged our canopies. Our first sprue we have here is, you know, a lot of nice surface detail just to show this off with our wing section and fuselage. So if we bring you in, what we'll notice straight away really with the surface detail, it is your typical Airfix type surface detail, in which we do have real nice crisp surface recessed panel lines, recessed rivets, right? We do have, you know, it wraps over that 90-degree angle and we still get nice crisp recessed rivets, which is recessed panel lines, which is good. But what you can probably see is, you know, typically it's a little bit out of scale. You know, these recessed panel lines are a bit too big for this scale of 1/72 scale, but you know, they're still good surface detail. It's just something that Airfix does. They just kind of make these recessed panel lines a little bit too big, but it is very crisp, as you can see from the surface detail on our wing. Real nice and crisp, nice and smooth. We have some Bombay detail in here, which is just rammed full of detail, as you can see just there. Our wheels, you know, are sort of, you know, okay, mediocre sort of detail going on with that. Flip it over, we do interestingly have some nice sort of rib work on our wheel well detail, as well as all sorts of nice detail within our flap area, which, you know, I'm not seeing any ejector pin marks in there, which is good. If we look at our cockpit section as well, I mean, we do have some nice detail in there, nice rib work detail. I am noticing, you know, we do have like an ejector pin mark just here and there, not major, but there is a little bit going on in there to have to sort out. But whether you have to sort it out, I mean, these canopies and these bombers, you know, you look inside the canopies, it is hard to see the detail in there. So is it really needed? You know, that's just a personal choice for you guys. Moving along, we have the other part of our fuselage section, which again, same level of detail both on the outside and on the inside, where you can see the odd ejector pin mark, but nothing major. We have the surface detail for the, I do believe this is the bottom part of the wing section. Again, nice lovely surface detail. There are recessed rivets here and there, but not major. Normally when it comes to an Airfix, I do like to get out my rivet maker and actually throw in a couple of rivets of my own. Nice easy task, you know, no big deal, and it just kind of gives them that little bit more than your average Airfix kit, right? So moving along, we then have all our little bits and bobs. I do believe there's about, what, 5 grey plastic and 1 clear plastic sprue in this. So with all our little bits of detail, I mean, you know, we have these big sprues that are going on with this. Looking at our engine detail, I mean, the detail's mediocre, right? It's okay, but it is 1/72 scale, so we can sort of forgive it a bit. We have sort of like engine areas and wheel well areas, which, you know, the surface details there. We're seeing a couple of recessed rivets now with these areas. As you can see, nice surface detail. Engine cowls, we do have nice detail going on here with raised panel lines where they're due. I think they are accurate in that way as well. Right, flip it over. Ejector pin marks, I mean, we do have our Bombay doors here, and you can see we do have an ejector pin mark or three in there. We've got our propellers, not looking too bad. Inside these wheel wells, again, odd little ejector pin mark, but then you know, if you're going to close your bomb bay door, it's not a big deal. You know, I think there's quite a lot of detail that goes into the actual wheel well bay, so I don't know if you're going to see them, but that you might do a little bit, but not major, shall we say, on ejector pin marks. Flash, I'm not really seeing any flash on this kit, just your normal join lines, no big deal. It does look like we've got two bomb bay doors as well with this one, so not sure what's going on there. Probably one's for open, one's for closed. We've got some landing gear legs just here, which, you know, we've got some nice detail on there for 1/72 scale, and again, no real flash going on. All sorts of little bits and bobs around this, and we do get a pilot. We do get just the one by the looks of it, but you know, we can make out mouth, nose, eyes, all those kind of good things. See the equipment. I mean, yes, there is a bit of flash around this one. I don't know well you can see it, but no major big deal. But you do have a pilot if you want to whack one in there. We then do have another sprue just here, our final sort of sprue. Little bits of detail, probably for like the landing gear area, sorry about the phone. All sorts of rib work. Again, this is for like in the wheel well and landing gear area. Right, flip it over. I mean, I am seeing the odd ejector pin mark, but I don't think you're going to see these from what I've seen of the instructions. Rear bit of the landing gear as well, no major detail going on with there. But all in all, you know, not looking too bad, because I mean, you know, this kit was new tooled in 2012, and the cost of it, I did write it down, RRP'd at £32.99, which for, you know, a bomber, yes, it is 1/72 scale, but it is a lot of plastic, and you do get quite a lot of it, and it's going to be sort of like a big model, so £32.99, not bad. And in the Genesis model store, you know, as always, we make them a bit cheaper, and it's up there for £29.69. Right, so let's have a look at our canopies, because this can make and break a kit. In my opinion, and Airfix can sometimes fall short. They have got better over the years, but looking at this, right, it is looking pretty damn shiny, and there's a lot of plastic going on here, a lot of clear parts. You know, the main canopy, right, looking pretty nice and clear, pretty nice and shiny. I'm just going to hold it up to the light just to see if we've got any problems. Right, and you know what, I have just noticed there's one or two of them that have that, it's almost like a cobweb effect. It might be a little bit hard to see. Let's see if I can get it on the camera. If I rotate it, there you go, you could probably see it. They look like there's like a cobweb on there. It looks like maybe there's a crack in there, right? This can sometimes happen. Basically, it's something to do with when they inject the molds, right? You know, hopefully you can see, you know, they've got these ejection bits here where it kind of comes in from this direction. Let's focus. Comes in from this direction from that tab there. Comes in from this direction from this tab here, right? And it's something to do with, you know, when they meet, right? If they're at different temperatures, basically it can leave that sort of line, that sort of crack, what you see just in there, which is a bit of a shame. That is something that you cannot fix. It is kind of tough, and you know, you pretty much find that with all the sprues. It's not, from what I can see, on any of them except these two just down there, so it's something you kind of got to just live with this kit. So there's our clear parts. Let's get out our decals, which are by Cartograph, so we know they're going to go down well with micro solid set. They're going to be nice decals, you know, some of the best decals you can get in the world. And we just have a little quick look. You know, nice colours, nicely in registry. It's got sort of like a satin finish to it, right? You know, the small writing, you know, you can sort of make out and read, right? And we've got sort of, you do get the decal instrument display panels as well by the looks of it, and I think that's maybe, from what I can see, a little map that you can maybe put on somewhere inside the cockpit area, which is, you know, a nice little touch. But as you can see, these decals are going to be nice. They're going to go down well. Right, should have no problems with them at all. We do have, as I've already mentioned, two options for two different markings, which we do have. The Lancaster B.II. This is number 408 Squadron, 1944, and then pretty much the same kind of pattern, really, same type of scheme, but by the number 514 Squadron, November 1944. And you know, it just lay it all out nicely for you to be able to spray this up, and shows you where all the decals are going. Within the instructions, we'll just have a quick look at how this is going to sort of go together. Typical Airfix instructions, you know, standard type paper. There is a bit of colour on the front. If we look at it, yes, we build our cockpit area. We sort of, interestingly, this one, we've got this going on here. These are like some sort of supports for the wings. Right, so if we sort of move over to the next side, we bring our two fuselage halves together, and we have these supports sticking out. And if we see just down here and here, right, we build onto the supports the actual landing gear detail, right, and then we bring the two wings halves on top. As you can see, we bring in the bottom wing section up onto that, and then we bring the top wing section on top of that. You know, I haven't built this kit, but I got a feeling from a bit of experience that, you know, that is potentially going to be an area in which, you know, you've got to be careful of fit issues. So I would really highly recommend a lot of test fitting in this area to make sure that your wing sections are going to fit on there nicely, and all the bits are going to fit on properly, because I don't know, I can just see that sort of not quite aligning up right. So you've got to make sure it's going to line up right, and you glue it in the right place exactly, and make sure it goes in. So that's kind of interesting. You don't normally see any stuff like that, but yeah, just be careful when doing it. As you can see, the top wing section's coming on there. A few little standard bits and bobs as I just kind of flick through this. It's kind of pretty sort of standard, bringing engine stuff together. Options for landing gear up or down. Moving along, we have, you know, the flaps, you can have them up and down. So we've got a nice couple of options with this kit. These panels just here, I can almost see that, you know, you want to sort of test fit those areas as well. They might be okay, but just test fit them. You know, there's no harm in test fitting. Moving along, bomb bay doors, open or closed. You may want to close them. I'll show you at the end of the instructions, you'll see in a sec. Just landing gear bits. We've got all our MGs and everything here, which, you know, is kind of advised that if you can sort of, you know, have these separate and not glue them on the kit, it just makes it easier for spraying and stuff. Moving along, what we've got here, you know, Airfix. Always good that they have these in-flight display stands, and you know, they're kind of compatible with their models. So if you want to have it in-flight display, that's quite cool. Come to the last page, we have the bombs. Now, with the bombs, it does say that they do sell the bombs separately, which is kit A05330, which is the bomber resupply set, and that basically allows you to put all these bombs in here. Bit of a shame you got to buy them separately. I mean, normally you kind of expect some sort of firepower to come with your kit, but that is the way it is. So you might want to sort of close your bomb bay doors or not. But that's the instruction. So all in all, you know, it's a decent price. I mean, for being in the Genesis model store at $29.69, you know, it's not a lot of money. It's going to be quite a big kit. I mean, it is 1/76 scale, but it is a bomber. It is a big Lancaster, so it's going to be a sort of a nice sort of centerpiece, iconic aircraft. It looks like it'll go together, you know, pretty good. It looks like the surface detail, I mean, for the scale and everything, is pretty good. Lots of sort of nice detail in there for its scale, but other than that, should be a really nice build, and you know, pretty much a nice recommended kit. And you know, it just makes me want to build one. I've always wanted to sort of build a Lancaster. I don't know whether to get the 148th Tamiya one, or maybe, you know, maybe I should go for one of these Airfix, but we'll see. Maybe a future step-by-step or something, or maybe even a bit more of an advanced step-by-step maybe. But other than that, hopefully you've enjoyed this in-box review. So until next time, as always, my name's Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I'll catch you later.